the Dover Board of Selectmen Thursday, July 10th meeting. Our meeting is being held remotely via Zoom. As always, we are using the Zoom webinar technology. So we do have public comment at the beginning of the meeting, and if you wish to participate or make a comment, you would need to use the raise your hand feature. But before we go to the first item of business, I would like to take a roll call vote of the members of the Board of Selectmen that are present this evening. I, Robin Hunter, present.
Dave Haviland, present.
Pam Hudson, present.
And now we will move to citizens' comments. Are there any citizens' comments? I don't see any.
I don't see, we don't have any attendees right now, so it's just,
All right.
we're all looking at each other.
We're safe.
All right. So the first item of business on the agenda will be presented by Mike Blanchard, and that is going to be a discussion regarding the intermunicipal grant reimbursement agreement between the town of Needham and the town of Dover for fiscal year 2026, and to vote to authorize the town administrator to sign the agreement. And just as a reminder, this is the agreement for the public health nurse that we share with Needham. So I turn it over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Robin. So just very quickly, you may be experiencing deja vu. You just did this for FY25.
Right.
So this is a identical agreement with the date updated for FY26. So we were a little behind with Needham getting last year's done. We're ahead of the game now. So I just would recommend and ask your approval of the agreement so that we can get reimbursed for the public health portion of the public health nurse position.
Hey, are there any questions regarding this intermunicipal agreement? Okay. Then I move to approve the intermunicipal grant reimbursement agreement between the town of Needham and the town of Dover for fiscal year 2026, and I authorize the town administrator to sign the agreement.
Second.
All in favor? I, Robin Hunter.
I, Dave Haviland.
I, Pam Hudson.
Excellent. So moving right along, we are going to move to item 1.2 on the agenda. And that item, I'm going to slow us down because my bookmarks aren't working. There we go. All right. And again, this is Michael Blanchard, and this is to approve the statement of work agreement between Clifton Larson Allen LLP CLA and the town of Dover for professional financial services. And if this name rings a bell, it should. Last year we used Clifton Larson Allen to help us with the fiscal year close, and that was a really good experience. Unfortunately, we are still in the process of digging ourselves out from a little hole that we had due to changes in staffing, and so we need them again this year. And so I'm going to turn it over to Mike to give us a little more detail on this agreement.
Great, thank you. And I don't have much more to add. I think you covered it. But as you said, this is another deja vu, but from a year ago. Very similar agreement. As you mentioned, CLA has been in here for a few years. They know us well, which allows them to work very effectively to get our books closed. As you mentioned, we're very eager to get them closed. We continue to move forward on our improvement and our timing of our audits. So again, I recommend your approval of this agreement.
Right, and I think, Mike, it would be good to mention that you did talk to Jared, who is actually we're outsourcing our accounting from. And, we've been really pleased with the work that he's done. I believe that's the case, right, Chris? And Chris approached him, and he actually felt that CLA was better suited to provide us with these services.
Yeah, I concur. Jared's he's doing a great job, but we have more than just an accountant vacancy in the office.
Right.
CLA comes in. They like Mike said, they know us well, and they really help us get over the hump with some of these busier times, larger projects that are crucial to the budget cycle. So we're happy to have them on board again.
Right, and I think for people that aren't familiar with this, there's a lot of prep work that you have to do before your auditors come in. And, we're required to have an audit, and we want that to be efficient, and they'll prepare all the work papers that are necessary. And having helped us last year, they're already aware of our systems, which I think will just make it really efficient. So.
With any luck, if we resolve all the staffing issues, come up to full speed or full team, whatever the right words are,
Right.
and this should be the last year that we will need them to do this catch up.
Right.
Is that a fair statement? I'll say Chris or Mike.
Yeah, I think it's relatively fair. I think they've been doing a good portion of the closing work. We're definitely going to be, I think, better positioned next year to have identified what we need to do in advance, and just be in a little better position to hopefully. I don't want to say we don't need them at all, but definitely
it's the goal.
Not as much service, but that is what we will strive for. Absolutely.
Yeah. I like
Right.
Robin's word. It's the goal is to have them catch us up, and we set them free.
Right.
The exact timing of that is not known at this time, but we are making progress thanks to them. So,
Right. And thanks to the team. I mean, Chris and Mike have really done a lot in the last few months to really get us back on track. And that was evident with us getting back the AAA rating. And I think, the momentum is great, and this will just help us get the books closed earlier and faster, and we'll just keep building on that progress. So I move to approve the statement of work agreement between Clifton Larson Allen LLP and the Town of Dover for professional services dated June 23rd, 2025.
second.
All in favor? I, Robin Hunter.
Hi, Dave Haviland.
Hi, Cam Hudson.
Excellent. Oh, Mike, there's so much for you this evening. The next item of business 1.3, this I can tell it's the beginning of the year. It's like approval of all these contracts. To approve the Woodard and Curran proposal for professional services to assist the town of Dover with compliance related to US EPA municipal separate storm sewer system MS4 general permit required for permit year 8. That was a mouthful. And Mike, I'm going to turn it over to you to explain. I know this has something to do with the stormwater system, and it's all yours.
Yeah.
And the
so as Robin mentioned, this is something you see each year. I know I won't get this all right, but the MS4 permit is part of a national requirement through EPA. It's also administered locally by Mass DEP. It's called NIFTIs. I'm going to try to look that up. It's something about pollutant discharge, something. But the point is, we are required to participate to meet certain standards. And Woodard and Curran has done that for the last couple of years. We previously had a different provider. We brought Woodard and Curran in to improve our plan, and they've done that. So we're looking to continue with them for the next year. And to Dave's earlier question, while this service will not be, I don't envision it being eliminated. We do hope it to be reduced as we are in the middle of recruiting a full-time town engineer position. So they will be able to take on some of the duties that are now completely outsourced. So we look forward to that once we have that person on board.
Are there any additional questions regarding this contract?
We're talking about year 8, Mike. Is there a goal deadline? Is it year 9, year 10, 27?
So that's a great question. So I don't think there's an end date. I think it's continuous under the the program. I believe they're issued in 5-year increments. I think we're on our second 5-year permit.
That's fine. That's enough.
Okay, hope that answers the question.
They're 5 years. We're going to go in year 8. So
Right.
All right. So I move to approve the Master Professional Services Agreement and the scope of service dated July 2nd, 2025 between Woodard and Curran Inc. and the town of Dover, Mass. For professional engineering services related to MS4 general permit requirements for permit year 8.
second.
All in favor? Aye, Robin Hunter.
Hi, Dave Haviland.
Hi, Cam Hudson.
Excellent. Oh, Mike, another bid. So this is item 1.4 on the agenda, and we do this annually at our July meeting. And this is to award the bid for tree removal services. And I know we always do an RFP, and it looks like this year Stumpy's Tree Services of Ashland, who I believe we have used before,
Yeah.
is
Correct.
the lowest bidder, right?
That's right. Yep. So you covered it pretty straightforward. They were the lowest responsive bidder under mass procurement. Therefore, they get to you are required to award the contract to them.
Right. And I know because I love the name, and I
Yes.
know
Yeah.
done work before. Oh,
So I had them remove 25 trees from around our house, and it was an impressive operation.
yeah,
Well, they took
Wow.
the trees right over the top of the house. It was crazy.
right, right. So I move to award the tree removal services bid to Stumpy's Tree Services of Ashland, Massachusetts.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, Robin Hunter.
Hi, Dave Haviland.
Hi, Cam Hudson.
Okay. The next, oh my
Yes,
God,
Mike.
this never ends. The next item, 1.5, is the vote to declare the Dover Police Department TAIT Communications Base Station as surplus items. And this is just when we retire equipment, we have to declare it as surplus material so that we can then actually either sell it or dispose of it. So I'm going to turn this over to Mike, but I think that's what we're doing with the retired communication system because we replaced it with a new one.
That's right. Yep. So I apologize. I actually meant to include a copy of the policy, but you hit it on the head. So there's a selectman policy that in order to dispose of items either with value or without, the selectmen vote to declare them surplus. Chief Finchie's requested we have 2 repeater units as part of a radio system. These are actually new. They haven't been used, so we're very hopeful that there's some value there. The chief has created an account on a municipal bidding website, kind of like a municipal eBay. And with your approval, should you approve it, he's plans to place those on that site. And we believe could have a value as much as $5,000 each. I appreciate the chief moving quickly on this. As with all electronics, as new editions come out, the longer you wait, they lose value. So we wanted to get this out there as soon as possible. So I recommend your approval. And then again, following your approval, the chief will prepare these and hopefully auction these off. The money that would come in would then go to the general fund and become free cash in the future.
So I am hopeful that oh God, what is the word I'm looking for? That the estimated proceeds will come close to that amount.
Yeah.
So if there are no other questions, I'm going to move to is it TAIT or TAIT?
So that's a great question. So we'll go with TAIT. I think
Okay.
that's
All right.
the default to that.
I move to deem 2 TAIT communication base stations as surplus items.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, Robin Hunter.
Hi, Dave Haviland.
Hi, Cam Hudson.
Okay.
Now it's your turn, Robin.
Now it's my turn. So another thing that we usually do this time of year is we spend a lot of time either reappointing people to committees where their terms have expired, or when people have resigned, we've gotten recommendations from those committees for individuals that are interested in filling those terms. So this evening, we have reappointments in two committees. The first one is the Open Space Committee, and it is a request from the Open Space Committee to reappoint Richard Nagy and Chris Cahoon, both for 1 year terms effective July 1st, 2025 through July 30th, 2026. And then we have similar reappointments for the Board of Appeals, which sometimes we call the ZBA, but it's really the Board of Appeals in Dover. And that's to reappoint Nadir Ahmed for a 3-year term effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. And then to reappoint Nancy Green and Michael Donovan as associate members, both for 1-year terms effective July 1st, 2025 through July 30th, 2026. So, I thank all these members for offering to be reappointed. They have all contributed in the past significantly to these committees, and I expect that they will continue to provide value. So I move to appoint and reappoint all individuals to the town's boards and committees and staff members as presented. Well, there are no staff members this time. So
I will second it, but it's Greg Cahoon and the 1-year terms for Nancy Green and Michael Donovan and June 30th, not July 30th.
Oh, sorry. Thank
No,
you.
you just, that's why I read them. But anyway,
Okay.
second.
All in favor? I, Robin Hunter.
I, Dave Haviland.
Hi, Ken Hudson.
And then item 1.7, and it's Mike and Chris. Oh, so they're going to discuss the year-end budget appropriation process and transferring of funds from one account to another. And these types of transfers must be approved by the Board of Selectmen and the Warrant Committee. And just as a reminder to citizens, if they're listening to this meeting, when you budget for a municipality, you're actually appropriating cash to each of those budget line items, and you can move cash from budget items that are under budget to budget items that are over budget. But in order to do that, you need a recommendation of the Warrant Committee and the approval of the Board of Selectmen. So I'm going to turn it over to Chris and Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to fill in a little gap there, the reason why we need to do these transfers is every year when we approve a budget for the next fiscal year, it's kind of like a snapshot of what we intend to do financially for the next fiscal year. But as time goes on and we execute that budget, things don't always go exactly how we planned them. And in some cases, there's a need for or higher demand for certain line items and services related to the line items, or things happen that we need to address and have a financial impact on the town. So that's just a little precursor as to why we need to do some of these transfers. And I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully everybody can see that.
Yep.
I'm just going to briefly walk through each one of the transfers. I'll try to be as brief as possible. And if anybody has any questions or
because
comments,
of the challenge that Mr. Havlin has made.
well, if we can stop after each transfer, and
All right.
I'm happy to answer. So, so the first one up is a Parks and Rec transfer. It's for $5,000. There's a deficit in the vehicle maintenance line for this particular budget. They have a 10-year-old tractor that just required more maintenance than anticipated this year, probably due to age. and they had a surplus in their overtime line. They just had some staffing changes, new staff member in the office this year, and they just didn't need as much OT. So it's Parks and Rec overtime to vehicle maintenance to cover the tractor. I'm just going to keep going unless somebody stops me. So
Okay.
So the next one up is for planning salaries. There was a deficit created due to some expenses related to a staff departure in this particular office this year. And they had a surplus in their planning professional services. I just don't think they used as much the professional services they anticipated. So this transfer for $21,270.17. Going from that professional services surplus to the salary deficit. Next up, this is actually topical. It relates to the intermunicipal agreement for the shared public health nurse. As Mike alluded to, we were a little bit behind schedule with getting the agreement in place and everything set up for FY25, and our public health nurse started in Dover during this fiscal year, and we paid her salaries out of the Board of Health salaries. And it was the reimbursements from the town of Needham as part of the agreement for FY25. So that's the reason why there is this $25,000, almost $26,000 deficit, and it's being funded still within the Board of Health department. Again, it's a professional services line. They did not use as much professional services this year as anticipated, and that is where the funding source is coming from to cover this deficit. In the future, we have a grant account established for the shared services with Needham, and that will be used going forward to help fund this position or be reimbursed for our expenses related to the position. Next up, this one's a pretty small one, but it's $250. This is related to the Historical Commission. They have a professional services line. This is a very small budget item, which does not give them a lot of capacity to do a lot every year. They held a training towards the end of the year. And unfortunately, that training just went over budget just a little bit. And we're suggesting funding this from the health insurance premium line item, which has a large surplus this year. And that's the reason for that is just they don't have any other funds available within this budget. Next up, and these ones we start getting into some of the larger deficits and more impactful things that happened this year. So just as a precursor, but the next transfer is for $93,500, and it is for the deficit in the data processing or IT services line item within our budget. And this is related to, it's kind of a couple of compounding factors. The first is, as everyone knows here, for the public's benefit, we rely completely on an outsourced third-party IT provider to run our network infrastructure, our IT hardware, and also service to our employees that need help IT on a day-to-day. So there's that, and we also rely on them to help us complete IT-related projects. And this year we had a pretty significant municipal fiber project that was implemented in town, which was funded itself by, at least partially by a grant, but not all of the work that was needed to complete that project was covered by the grant. And we again had to tap our IT provider to help facilitate the implementation of that project at the townhouse. So that is all.
Chris, could you elaborate a little bit on what that fiber project entailed?
Sure. And Mike, I might ask you to help me fill in some of the nitty-gritty details about that.
I don't really need the nitty-gritty, just a broad overview.
Sure. Yeah. Chris, if you want me to do it quick. So Cam, right now, every municipal building has its own private internet connection. So we all have like a Comcast or Verizon account. not very secure because we communicate and access servers over that line. What we've done is installed a municipal fiber ring or network. So all the buildings are now connected by a private cable that we own and only have access to. We will now have one point of entry into our network, which is here at the townhouse. And then the fiber from here runs to all of the municipal buildings. So we'll have better network and internet speed, but most importantly, better network security as well.
Right. Excellent. Does that cover the library as well, Mike? Or?
It does, yes. Yep. It covers all the municipal buildings. To Chris's point, we did receive a grant that paid for the fiber and the installation of the fiber itself, and the additional costs related to other related work we had to do.
Okay, thank you.
So of the 93,000, how much of that was related to the fiber project versus just additional services from the IT provider? Or is that just really hard to break out?
So it's not really hard. I just don't know if we have that at our fingertips.
Okay, well, just
tonight.
whenever. I was just curious. I'm assuming a majority of this relates to the fiber project.
I'm going to guess 50-50. Chris, do you think that's... Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's fair. I mean, there's other increases kind of across the board with IT services. We did have a bunch of hardware that was purchased back in the 2020 COVID era. That's kind of at its life cycle, and we've also had a lot of new employees start that require new hardware as well, and just network services as well are up. But again, this is proposed to be funded by the health insurance premiums account.
Right.
Okay,
and then one more question.
Yeah.
Based upon this experience, did we increase the budget for 2026?
We did.
Okay, that's what I remembered. Okay.
Yeah, I believe we're going from, I think it was 190,000 in FY25, and we had approved in fiscal year 26 255. So
all right,
a good jump. And again, we're not expecting any big IT infrastructure projects. So moving ahead, I'll say this before we get in. The next 4 transfers are all to the same account, and it's the Selectmen professional services account, which had a total deficit this year of roughly 160,000. Some of it's very easily explained, and it's due to staffing departures or vacancies in our financial offices. That we were without a full-time treasurer for a while, and also, as I alluded to when we were talking about the CLA agreement, that we essentially lost our whole accounting staff. We didn't have one staff member for a period of time. And because of those reasons, and in order to keep operations running, we had to bring in consulting services to fulfill those roles. And that's what's driven most of the deficit in this account. We had to pay those professional services agreements through our own line. That's what you'll start seeing here. Is the first transfer is for $20,524.50 out of the health insurance premiums account, and that's these aren't one-to-one dollar amounts, but this is a portion of the payment to the treasurer, collector, consultant, and also the associated cleanup work on top of the day-to-day functioning of the office with this particular consultant. Again, this is the same reasoning for the deficit in the same line item. However, this one's being funded from treasurer professional services. We tried to look at surpluses in the respective departments to help fund this deficit. And, we didn't end up using as much professional service in the treasurer's office. We already had a professional service running the office. So we're just pulling the surplus from that line to help fund the deficit as well. Next up, again, same deficit, same line item, but this transfer is from the surplus that was generated from the staffing vacancy in the treasurer's office. So we have a $56,000 surplus that's being transferred to the same deficit, Selectmen professional service. Next one up, same reasoning, same account. This $65,868 is from the surplus generated from the vacancies in the accounting office. And lastly, this is a different account. This is the legal fees account. And this is a $25,000 transfer from the health insurance premiums account. And the deficit was created in this particular line item just because we had an increased need for legal services this year. We had a number of situations and really need for legal consultation. I used this example last night with the warrant committee, but for instance, we had a 40B application, new 40B application come through our Board of Appeals this year. And we just didn't have the in-house expertise to make sure that this comprehensive permit was handled, with the degree needed in terms of compliance with the law. And we had to have our legal consultant come in and support the meetings and handling of that application process. So doesn't explain the whole deficit. There was other items, but just wanted to use that example to illustrate how we plug in legal services in the situations that arise. And that's the last transfer.
Sorry about that. I have to put mute on because there's a little dog behind me that's very noisy with these toys. So, well, thanks, Chris. That was a very, very thorough explanation. So I really do appreciate that. I don't have any questions. Does anybody else?
I don't. I cheated and went to the warrant committee last night, so I'm on round 2.
Right. Yeah, I was not back yet. So
I wasn't either. I was still flying from Australia.
Cam, I'm impressed with how alert you are. I move to approve the fiscal year 25 appropriations transfers as presented.
Second.
All in favor? I, Robin Hunter.
I, Dave Haviland.
I, Cam Hudson.
All right, so now we will move to the Board of Selectmen updates. And I'll begin. I actually do have a few updates. I did get my invitation to the planning board meeting, which will be held on Monday night. So I should have something to report there. I also got, and I think the two of you should have been contacted by Justine as well, but there is an opportunity for a rail trail grant. And I told her that I would coordinate putting her in touch with Kevin Ban and Mark Galoni. And I really thanked her for making us aware of that opportunity. So I'll keep everybody posted there. Other than that, since I missed the warrant committee meeting, it looked like it was these transfers that were the big item on that meeting. We also have our second planning meeting on Tuesday, which, based upon the progress we made on the first one, I would think that will most likely be the last one. We might need a third, but I'm not expecting that we do. And that will outline our goals and objectives for the year. With respect to that meeting, I was wondering if it would be okay if we started 30 minutes later, because I have a call from 1 to 2. So would that work with your schedules?
Yep, works with me, yes.
Okay, all right. So that would be great. I really appreciate that. And that is in person, just a reminder. It's in person at the townhouse. But I'm looking forward to that meeting.
Okay, so I'm making it official and editing it to 2:30.
Thank you.
Good.
All right. And those are my big updates. I don't know, can you hear the noise behind me or not?
No.
No? All right. Then I
No.
don't have to mute myself. He's
Okay. With the real progress that's been made so far is with the Fire Board of Engineers looking for a new chief to take over. And we got a good amount of applicants and whittled that down. We've had several meetings and we're now down to 5, and we'll be going through a much more intensive screening and interview process. We've already had an initial interview via Zoom, and I am hopeful that we've got some good candidates that will result in a successful search.
excellent. So are they going to do the similar thing like we did with the police? Do they do an assessment?
They are. That's
Okay.
what's next.
Okay.
So, which is good because
It is.
a lay person like me,
Right.
what do I know about fire safety standards and implementing them? That would be zero. And I
Right.
used to be a fire underwriter, but this is just, you gotta let the pros be pros.
Right.
So
And
that's really it. I mean, I went to the warrant committee, so
Right.
Cam, welcome back.
yeah, I'm bereft of updates simply because I've been out of the country for the last 2 weeks. Although I did, as a result, miss the Conservation Committee meeting last night. So that's going to be in conflict with the Warrant Committee. So we're going to be doing some juggling there going forward, I imagine.
So it's
Sorry,
usually the
Robin.
first Tuesday of every month? So they may have just changed it.
Just on an ad hoc basis, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. In any case, I wouldn't have been here for Tuesday either. And other than that, I don't really have anything to report. I apologize.
It should be slow this summer. So.
How come you're smiling, Mike?
Because he's ready for his updates. And Mike, I figured I'd have you update on the RFP process or the house partnership.
Absolutely, sure.
I think he was smiling more at the Swan act he's performing, smooth and serene on the surface and paddling like hell underneath.
So, as Dave said, I've been told it's supposed to slow down in the summer. We like to mentally pretend it is, but it's been pretty busy. As you just did those year-end transfers, Chris summed it up pretty quickly. But I just wanted to say thank you to Chris, to Jared, Mona, the warrant committee. I mean, so much work goes on behind the scenes to get it ready for you, to make it look so easy. So just really appreciate everybody's efforts. It's this week in particular, every year is stressful as we have to prepare these and then also open up the next year's budget as well. So Chris is doing a great job. He is the one-man show now, and so it's been great.
So Chris, I do have a request, and it's not urgent, but once you're comfortable with how the fiscal year closed out, if maybe you could just make a presentation and just show us how we ended the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. We still have some work to go.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Officially closed, right. But yeah, happy to keep everybody updated, right. And sure, I'd love to do a recap when it's all said and done.
That sounds great. Thanks.
And then the other piece to that is, as we catch up and get staff, we'll be doing regular reporting to the board, to the warrant committee. So you'll have, throughout the year to reports to review, which I think will be great.
Right. I know we usually criticize, but I will tell you, I have heard from various departments how much the process has improved over the last few months. They are really pleased with the quality of work that Jared is turning out. So Chris, that was really a great find. I mean, I just unsolicited compliments. I've had about 4 or 5. So
yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. It's been really good so far.
Right.
Can't say everything's solved. We still have a long way to go, but initial impression that we're doing a much better job now, and we'll continue to do so. So thank you.
Well, I also have received a few comments and would not have mentioned it, but now that Robin's mentioned, I'm like, actually, that's true.
Right.
So I think that what you're doing in the communication flow is improving, and everyone is really appreciating it. So
Agreed.
sometimes it's good news, bad news, doesn't matter. What is the answer? That's all you want. So
That's right.
That's the goal.
yep, keep it up.
Yes, and you see the improvement in the outcomes that we're getting, such as the recent return to accounting performance. So that's really good.
It's been great. And we'll just keep getting better, which is awesome.
Right.
Monday, excited to just announce that our new town planner started, Melissa Santucci Razzi. And I think she's going to be a great addition. I just found out today, and she's still here. Her first day, she turned on her laptop and started smoking. I said, if I was her, I would have known.
Smoking wasn't allowed in the office?
Yeah. She didn't take that as a sign to run away, so that's really good. But we got her a new laptop, so that's really
You can't run away.
Oh, unbelievable.
I heard
This is explaining the fire chief search, why the tech went over budget. What else? I
mean,
He wanted to redecorate her office, so
I guess so. That was it. That was it. As Robin alluded to, this past week was our responses were due for our housing study RFP, and I'm pleased to report that we received 3 responses by the deadline. So we're looking to start to review those next week, and excited that we hopefully have appropriate bids that we can pick one and move forward. So that's very exciting.
I mean, last year we only got, the last time we went out, we got 1 bid because we were competing with MBTA community issues that communities were facing, and the bid we got didn't really match what we were trying to accomplish. So this is really great news. Hopefully we have a choice. Yep.
And I intend to use our new town planner to help review those,
which is even better. Right.
So it's perfect timing.
Right.
I guess a little theme here. The third bullet related, just a reminder to the board, but obviously the community, anybody watching, the planning board continues to move forward on the MBTA communities process. They will be before you at your July 24th meeting to give you an update. There'll be a public hearing at the beginning of September, Monday, September 8th, and then special town meeting will be Monday, September 29th. So just want to keep sharing those dates and sharing that information so that people have plenty of opportunities to participate. But again, the next one coming up is your meeting July 24th, but we encourage people to tune in and get more updated information.
And then there's something on August the 18th, right?
So I believe that is for boarding committees.
Right, that's what I think too.
Yep, you are right. That's right. I think it was your last meeting. You may recall you approved the appointment of Brett Roween to the police department. I just wanted to share. It's always really neat for me when they come in to get sworn in. Just really exciting. He came in today, got sworn in, and then started his first shift at 3 o'clock. So I thought that was exciting. He's a Dover resident, which is great. He's the only Dover resident we have on the police department. So that's always just kind of a neat thing. So I was happy to just share that. And then lastly, I believe we'll be issuing a press release, but I just wanted to share with the board that Kevin McCabe received what's called a bottleneck grant from the state Mass Department of Transportation. So they have grants available for intersections that get bottlenecked, backed up. And as I think everyone knows in Dover, we have significant backup at the intersection of Center, Springdale, and Walpole Street. So the grant will provide an engineering firm to look at the intersection, see what potentially we could do to redesign things, make the lights work differently. All of that will be reviewed with you, the Board of Selectmen, but should changes be proposed and agreed to, it then also provides up to $500,000 to implement improvements that we find as well.
Excellent.
Wow.
Appreciate Kevin working on that. I know I get stuck on that every morning. Some days it's a strange thing. Some days there's no traffic, and some days I'm sitting there for 10 plus minutes. You just never know what you're going to find. So,
We're going to get the Dover flyover now, the big ramp that goes right over town.
Right.
I think we should put a toll on it.
That'd be good too.
It will become a toll road.
And with that's all I have for you tonight.
All right. Thanks, Mike. And so the last item of business is the consent agenda, and it consists of the following: approve acceptance of a $1,999.50 U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service volunteer fire capacity grant for a cooperative fire protection project, and then to approve 2025 special one-day liquor licenses for June 26th. Two of those which are retroactive, July 7th, which is also retroactive, July 18th and 24th, July 21st, August 21st, that's my dad's birthday, and September 13th. So
As a matter of curiosity, if we oppose the retroactive ones, what happens?
They have to buy us a drink.
Cam, it's not an option. I guess we would have to return their money as well. So I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, Robin Hunter.
Aye, Dave Haviland.
Hi, Cam Hudson.
And then the last item of business is to adjourn this meeting. So I move to adjourn the July 10th meeting of the Board of Selectmen.
Well, I don't know. See, you're pretty close to this deadline, so Cam and I can just talk for a few more minutes.
There's no filibustering here.
And I second.
Cam's exhausted. What's the time in Australia now, right? It's 7 in the morning?
There's a 10-hour difference,
Okay.
so it's about 9:20 in the morning now, yeah.
Wow.
But is it the day before or the day after? I always get that mixed up.
I'm completely confused. You land in Australia and lose a day because they're ahead of us. So it's probably Friday there now, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when you come back, you land in LA before you leave Australia, which is even more confusing.
Wow. Yeah, it's 9:21 a.m. on Friday.
I came up with a new strategy of trying to adapt, and it's worked really well. I tried not to sleep for the entire journey, and I succeeded. And I went to bed at the normal time last night and slept for 8 hours. So I was really happy about that.
So I do that, but with to me, that's the key. I mean, you have to sort of stick to your normal schedule. And
yeah, right.
It's so hard. Like 14
it's extremely
hours
hard
difference,
when
I don't know what I do.
Yep.
All right,
So
you
do I
got to
have
call
a
a vote.
second?
Yeah, I seconded, but you just got to call
He
a vote.
did second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye, Robin Hunter.
Aye, Dave Haviland.
Hi, Cam Hudson.
All right. So we will see you all on Tuesday at 2:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for Mona. Mona,
Excellent.
I hope you get really good weather.
Thank you. I
You're a
hope so
sun
too.
goddess, so
Yes, I
enjoy
am.
it.
Thank you.
So, well, super.
Bye now.
All right. Well, it's still light out. This is
Right.
great.
Right.
Pretty good. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Have a
Thanks.
great night,
Bye.
everyone.
You too.
All right. Goodbye.